From an early age, I suffered from insomnia. It started as far back as I can remember, about 5 or 6 years old. I just never wanted to go to sleep, and it's quite typical for a child to ask for 5 more minutes before bedtime, but with me it was a bit more extreme. I would try so hard not to go to bed, and even when I did, I'd lay there for hours, awake. As I got older, it just worsened. By the time I was 14, for my birthday actually, for my 14th birthday, I got a PSP, and what I would do is just load films or episodes or something, or YouTube videos, anything I wanted to watch, I'd just load it on there, and then just watch it at night until the sun came up, which really didn't help my insomnia. It made it so much worse. And that is when the sleep paralysis happened. It had never happened to me before, so the first time it happened, I thought I was still dreaming. I was fully conscious, my eyes were open, I couldn't talk, couldn't move. It was one of the scariest things that's happened to me in my life, but I thought I was dreaming, just because this was so foreign to me. I'd never heard of this, I'd never seen anyone, or I just didn't know what it was, so I thought I must be dreaming. So after it happened the first time, it started getting a lot more frequent. I started getting it maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But what was really weird was that sometimes things would be off. What I mean by that is, things weren't as they were in reality. For example, if in my sleep paralysis it would be daytime and the sun would be out, I'd wake up from my sleep paralysis or be able to move and the sun was down. I'd look at the clock and it was 7 o'clock when I couldn't move, but when I woke up, when I could move, it was maybe 3 o'clock. Little things like that were off, so it made me question if it was actually real. I later grew to realize that most of the time that I was having sleep paralysis, I was just dreaming about it. The fear of having real sleep paralysis made me think I was having sleep paralysis, but most of the time it was just a dream. So I made a test up. I put a clock, a digital clock, it was a 12-hour clock. I put it right next to my bed, so whenever it would happen, I would look at the time, and I worked out to be able to tell the exact time correctly and guess it, there's only a 0.14% chance. Actually, it's a little bit less than 0.14%, and that was good enough for me. So I realized that I am actually having sleep paralysis, but only sometimes. Most of the time, it would be just a dream about sleep paralysis. And I think the main thing that was different in one of my sleep paralysis that made me realize this was I was tucked in really, really tightly in my bed when I was having sleep paralysis, and I was trying to move the covers off me and I just couldn't get them off. But when I woke up, the covers weren't even on me. So clearly it wasn't reality. It was just my fear of having sleep paralysis that made me think that I was having sleep paralysis when actually I was just dreaming. It was my subconscious mind playing tricks on me. So I think that if I can have this condition, this induced sleep paralysis, well, when it's actually just a dream, of thinking it's sleep paralysis when it's actually not, it could be happening to a lot more people, and sleep paralysis could actually be a lot less common than people think it is, because they're just having the fear of sleep paralysis, which is causing them to dream about sleep paralysis. But it feels so real when you're experiencing it that you think it must be real. But just be cautious and try and pay attention to every little detail that you pick up when you have sleep paralysis. I mean, it usually only lasts about 15 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. But just be sure to pick up every little sign so you can make sure it's real. So I think that a lot of things that occur to people in their sleep paralysis, it may just be a dream, like I was dreaming of sleep paralysis. People could be dreaming of things visiting them, of things that just happen to them during sleep paralysis, which they think are supernatural. They could easily just be a dream, like my sleep paralysis was a dream most of the time. So what I'm trying to say is that your mind is a lot more powerful than you realize. And sometimes you have to pay close attention and do a lot of hard thinking about what is real. On this channel, I'll try and debunk some myths about the New Age movement, about the occult, relate them to religion, just trying to spread truth. There's a lot of truth in the occult, and in the New Age movement, and in religion. But let's try and get the truth out there and separate it from what is not true. I will try and approach things in a neutral way, because I think that's the way my mind is at the moment. Neutral, just trying to find truth. Trying to see what's out there, see what's true about it, what's a lie about it, and making my conclusion. And you should come along on the journey. Thank you for listening.